Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Jordan has defeated Alvin Bragg in an attempt at preventing testimony. So you have Jim Jordan demanding testimony from the Manhattan District Attorney and numerous other Democrats going after Trump. They don't want to testify because they don't want to. They do not want to explain why they indicted Trump when Cy Vance, the previous district attorney, and the DOJ under Merrick Garland and the FEC itself did not find a crime. They don't want to testify about, they don't want to answer any questions about the Hillary Clinton super PAC, according to the Daily Mail, Politico, and other publications, that was helping Michael Avenatti run for president. So this is not, like, you can't make this up. You seriously cannot make this up. A Hillary Clinton super PAC was consulting and working with Michael Avenatti. And this was just considered normal. Like, no, I don't understand why Trump's legal team doesn't bring up the fact that a Hillary Clinton super PAC is a part of all of this. I don't get it. But you have a Hillary Clinton super PAC, according to the Daily Mail, according to Politico, and others, involved in Michael Avenatti's presidential run as a Democrat. Okay? As a Democrat. By the way, I have a very important segment prior to this one explaining why the restraining order against Jim Jordan, basically the lawsuit, was rejected by a judge, district judge. And so a judge denied, this is Vanity Fair, a judge denied the Manhattan DA's request for a temporary restraining order. So he has to continue to send any documents, and also he has to go ahead and he has to testify. They don't want to testify because there was Democratic Party involvement. I mean, you have like million sub, liberal Democrats. They have 4 million to 4 million subs. They're all different types. Some think that they're on the far left. Some are just, blatantly, they're honest and they're liberal Democrats. They'll vote blue no matter who. They're all the same person, okay? These are all people who, and then you have CNN, MSNBC, but you have people who've convinced themselves it's about the rule of law. Okay, if the tables were turned, there would be no way that they wouldn't say this was a blatant stunt, a blatantly partisan stunt that trampled upon the rule of law. All of them would say the same thing. Okay, all of them would say that this is just a political stunt where you have Democrats wanting to prevent a 2024 presidential candidate that this is basically just a very sad and pathetic public relations stunt from Fox News, emanating from Fox News and the Republicans. But see, when the Democrats go after their direct political rivals, no problem. It is what it is. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. And when you look at the initial battle or the initial competition between Jim Jordan and Alvin Bragg, you have an attempt here at trying to prevent testimony. The knock on Trump was always, well, what does he have to worry about? Why doesn't he just testify? That's how Democrats rolled when the shoe was on the other foot and they were desperately trying to find out if Trump was an operative, if Trump tried to devour democracy in January. They want him testifying. They want him on the defensive. They accuse him of everything under the sun. And so now you have, and Trump actually wanted to testify in the January committee, but make it public. And they didn't want that because it's really funny. They don't want too much of Trump. because half the country knows that Democrats are just a political machine intent on destroying any political rival, even Bernie Sanders. So I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post. I was the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. Okay? They will, and that's why, like, when you have like a person like Marianne Williamson running, it's like, what's the point? They're going to cheat her just like they cheat Bernie Sanders, and all the money that she raises is going to go to the Democratic Party, so they can buy another Steele dossier and get fined like Clinton and the DNC. I don't understand this. Sometimes I'll see like different like interviews that Marianne Williamson has had, for example, and I'm like, well, she's bringing up all of these terrible economic numbers. Like, well, that's because Biden is in charge. We had record low poverty with Trump in 2019. I tried to tell somebody that the other day. It's just like it just didn't faze the person. They were just yelling Trump as a criminal. But like, again, do not ever. I'm not abiding by my own advice. Do not ever discuss anything with somebody who thinks Trump's a criminal. And oh my God, hit subscribe to this channel, by the way. Share this segment everywhere. The super chat is below. The super thanks is below. I mean, the super thanks and the Patreon are below. Go to hagoodman.com to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications. And, and become part of a newsletter. Go to contactgoodman88@gmail.com. But ladies and gentlemen, you have a situation where they don't want to testify. They are petrified. They are absolutely petrified. They don't want to testify. They don't want to explain how and why they use a federal statute, federal funds, by the way, to go after Trump. But they don't want to explain why. They don't want to explain why they're going after Trump without a federal crime. There was no federal crime there. The FEC didn't find Trump. If anything, the extortion attempt was Stormy waiting until October of 2016 to extract as much money from Trump. But they're going to be asked if the Hillary Clinton super PAC had anything to do with the Manhattan District Attorney's decision. Now, it's not difficult. There are people all over Twitter. I don't have Twitter. I don't have Facebook. That are part of PACs, that are a part of the Clinton machine, and I think Hillary will be the 24 nominee for the Democratic Party. They're all over the place, publicizing their contempt and disdain for Trump. It's very simple. You can just go ahead. You can just go ahead and in Congress, Jim Jordan or James Comer can ask, did you come in contact with any of these people? Did you come in contact with anyone associated with the Democratic Party? That's a pretty clear clear-cut statement. If the answer is no, I didn't, and of course they did, they've committed perjury. And that's a big problem. You lie under oath, you commit perjury, that's a felony. And so this isn't a difficult thing. The last thing that they want to do, the absolute last thing they want to do, which is why the case will either be dismissed, overturned, on appeal, thrown out by the Supreme Court. The last thing they want to do is testify. Because the second that they testify, a Pandora's box of attempted lies or truth will come out. See, the reason the Durham probe wasn't successful, okay, is that John Durham tried to prosecute the players involved in the manner that Mueller prosecuted. But Mueller had Mueller had the FBI on his side. So people were just basically prosecuted for allegedly lying to FBI agents. Nobody could prove whether they did or they didn't, because the meetings between those agents weren't videotaped or even audio taped. Okay, so that was pretty much a setup from the very beginning. Here, it's a different story. We learned from the Durham probe that people did lie, that all of these people associated with Clinton and the DNC were swarming around Trump's campaign and his administration. The problem was Durham tried to get him on lying, but it didn't happen. But they did spread false allegations against Trump. And that's a whole other story. Here, You're not going to have any government agency protecting Democratic prosecutors in New York. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now.